Welcome to the newest episode of The List. Life is stories to tell.
All right, you ready?
I'm ready.
All right. Hey, what's good, everybody? This is your boy Jay with The List, and today we have Rob Hopkins.
How you doing, everybody? Nice to meet you. Don't look at me that way.
All right, so Rob, tell them a little bit about what it is you do, because that's why I'm having you on today, because I think you got an interesting backstory to your life here for what you do for a living.
Well, I work in the film industry for a living. Well, I would say...
Yeah, please expound on that before people...
Okay, so I started out in porn.
This I didn't know. All right.
No. Seriously, here in the Charleston area, I've worked on a lot of TV shows and film since about 2014. I've worked as several different jobs. I've done everything from boom opping to production assistant, first team, background. I have worked in the office as so many different jobs now I think about it. I worked on a film called Trading Paint in Alabama with John Travolta and who was our co-star? Shania Twain.
Really?
And, yeah, really. But I was mostly in the office.
Trading Paint.
Trading Paint.
Okay.
Trading Paint. It's a film that's available now on Amazon Prime.
Okay.
It's about a dirt track racing. And John Travolta is a guy who owns a mechanic shop, and he has a son who's pretty awesome at driving and fulfilling the goals that John never fulfilled during his life. And so
I actually think I've seen this.
Yeah, it was.
I think I have.
It came out.
Sounds familiar.
We made it 2 years ago, and it came out this past May. But I was production secretary on that, and then got a AOC job also. We did a lot on that one.
So that's
The
AOC is
assistant production. Actually, it's assistant production. It's APOC. APOC means assistant production office coordinator.
Okay.
So anything of all the departments that make a film need, we are the central piece that they go through to make. So we are communication if they need this or that.
So you're the conduit.
We are the conduit between the 18 to 20 something departments, depending on what we're working on.
Okay, so that's a busy job.
It is a very busy job. I got in this business because I always wanted to be a writer, and that's what I'm focusing on now.
Right.
But I took any job that I possibly could get just so I can get a knowledge of what the business was. Because coming from the background I came from, I had no idea what being in the film business entailed, and I didn't know how to get my foot in the door.
Right.
And luckily here in Charleston, we have in the southeast area, we have Trident Technical College, who actually offers a great visual arts program, media arts, and they are looked at as one of the best in the whole region, like I said. And I got to go in.
Now, about the region, you mean like the southeast? Like you mean region?
The southeastern region of the country. The country. You have Trident Tech, besides SCAD in Savannah, Georgia, the Savannah College of Art and Design, and you have North Carolina has their School of the Arts also. I know it's in Wilmington or that area. Can't recall what exactly the name of it is at this moment, but I know they produce some really fine people who work in this industry locally. Okay. And so Trident Tech is one of those where when you go there, and when I went there, 2014, lots of hands-on, throw you in. You're going to learn how to conduct yourself.
Feet to the fire.
That's right. You're going to learn how to conduct yourself on the set. You're going to realize what it's really like to be on set and have to work very long hours, because people see the final product on your Vudu, your Amazon
they see
Prime.
Movies as glitz and glamour.
Yeah, it's glitz and glamour, but it's not glitz and glamour for us when we're making.
Right, I remember we was talking before, and you was telling me about how many hours you're standing, just standing. Period.
Yeah. And so usually 12 to 18 hour days is Monday through Friday, and there's a turnaround time. So there's usually about a 10-hour gap between when you can clock out and when you can get back to work. And so it pushes your day later as you start Monday. And by the time Friday hits, you know that you're going to be getting on set somewhere between 12 and 2 a.m.
Yeah.
And sometimes we've done, I've done plenty of all-nighters. But yeah.
It's a lot of work. And then
it's a lot of work, and you when you get into this industry, you have to realize that you have to be willing to tell your significant other that you're not going to see me for a while.
How's your wife handled that?
My wife, she was really good.
Obviously, you're still doing it, so she's been supportive. But I'm sure there was some friction in the beginning, right?
Oh, definitely, most definitely. Because you're a couple and you're used to being near each other a lot, and once you get into this business, you're gonna not have that time anymore.
Right.
And so they're like, hey, what about me?
Yeah.
You could start to neglect I would say relationships do get neglected sometimes because of the distance.
Yeah.
And so if your significant other is working a regular 8-hour job and you're working a 14, 16, 18-hour day.
Right, and she's had a bad day at work doing whatever it is she does, and then she's looking forward to coming home and talking to you and venting about it, and then you're not even home yet.
I'm not home.
When you get
I do get home,
you're like,
I stink.
Yeah.
I'm covered in sweat and dirt and grime depending on where we filmed today, and I got to take a shower. I'm exhausted. My feet are throbbing, and I got to do it again tomorrow.
Yeah.
So you got people don't understand that aspect of filmmaking, but we all love it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's you have to embrace the suck, as they say, if you're going to be in this kind of job.
Oh, I've embraced the suckage. A lot.
It's funny you mentioned that, because I never would have I never would have put that together to think it's that.
Yeah, it's
that intense.
It is very because. Time is money in the film industry, and everything costs, and every penny is counted down to the second, and you have to maximize every moment that we have at a location. There's so many moving parts that have to come together in order to actually make a coherent film that an audience will attach themselves to and spend their money on it, spend their time on. And so you have to make sure that all these things are aligned in pre-production before you get to that actual cameras rolling days. And there's so many people that you have to deal with, and so many things that have to fall in place and align like the stars to make sure that you get that final product.
In this job you had is APOC. That's
most of the time.
That's a central part of all that lining up.
Yeah, that is definitely a central part. The office is not the glory part of working in film. You're not an actor, you're not a director. It's not glamorous, but it's one of the most vital pieces to a production. And sometimes that's overlooked because those people actually are making sure camera department gets the stuff that they need and things are getting paid for. And that's the main part, is like in that office environment, you're dealing with producers and directors who are in and out, and you have people who work in accounting right down the way, and
so you get hit from all angles.
Yeah, and then of course, once in pre-production, everyone is in and out. Everyone has jobs to do, and they're making it happen. For art department is taking care of what they need to make sure the sets are right. Props is doing what they need to do to make sure that everything that they need that the actor's going to touch is there on the day. So everyone, it's a very busy environment. But once the cameras roll in an office environment, all those people are on set now, and the office calms down. We're like, all right, we're here. We're finally made it to this point where we can take that deep breath. The movie's actually getting made.
Okay, so you get a chance to breathe easy. And as the movie's starting to be made, you've done all that networking, and like I said, you were the conduit between all these outside agencies and everything going on. And the movie starts to get made, you get a chance to breathe. How much still gets filtered back through when there's a hiccup?
Yeah. There's always
There's always a hiccup, right?
Yeah, there's always things that happen on set.
And that pushes back to you guys.
Yeah, that's right. Because if there's an accident on set, we hear about it. We are the ones who are going to make sure.
An accident as in? Anything from a prop breaking?
No.
No?
Yeah, well, that too.
Okay. Yeah, I'm talking low end to biggest end.
Yeah, damage reports. Okay. If a prop gets broken, or if a live that an actor's wearing gets damaged, those things have to come through, the office, and they're processed and sent to wherever they need, so it was paid through, insurance is covered.
Right.
And same thing when actors or extra, someone gets hurt on set, and you have to make sure that all the paperwork is filled out for the insurance claims. You know, that stuff comes through the office.
Now you said a live getting broken. So what is that? So people understand.
A live, the microphone that's attached to my collar right now, the pack that they're wearing. That's the live kit.
Okay.
Yeah, and so when the actor is in a scene,
and this is all wireless, everything.
Yeah, you don't see.
Mostly wireless.
Yeah, mostly wireless, and this microphone will be hidden somewhere on the actor, and you'll never know as an audience member. But there's a mic on them, and that mic is wireless, and there's a sound mixer over there taking care of everything. You know, usually some chill ass guy. Yeah.
So he's got a pretty chill job overall.
It's a very, very important job.
Of course,
good, clean sound. And the guys who usually work in those apartments, they are usually just like cool ass guys in general. I just noticed the type of vibe that most of them have.
Okay.
I'm just generalizing now.
Right.
But from my experience, they're usually like pretty chill.
Pretty chill. Yeah. So you say you've worked everything. Here's a question I've always had, because I know talking to you before, and and seeing through your social media, you know, like some of the stuff, and you working like the boom mic.
Yeah, I've done the boom mic.
So
I got to do that for a few weeks on a TV show that's shot here in Charleston.
Like you should have like I think about it and think like you should have like bolder shoulders, right? Like you should.
No, I didn't do it that long.
You should be like
no. It's like I practiced a bit of yoga, so I was able to and I have a really cool friend who's in the industry who's boomed up on so many great shows, The Walking Dead, Stranger Things. He's worked at Utility, and he taught me how we actually met each other at Best Buy when I was a supervisor, and he worked for me. And this guy taught me how to.
Because you worked there for a while.
That's right. Properly hold a boom mic. And so there's pictures of me up on a really high ladder, sitting up there, you know, getting it. That was cool.
I thought like this dude's gonna look like. Do you know Daylon Bailey? Do you know who she is? Her shoulders are insane. That's who I was like. This dude's gonna be jacked.
No jack. No jack. Nah, not at all.
But that's crazy to think that you hold that thing and like I don't know, is it counterbalance? Is there a way? Is there things you can adjust? You're the counterbalance.
You're the counterbalance.
So it seems like it would be so tough to do, especially holding it for so long.
That's the bit of learning how to properly hold a boom mic for a prolonged period of time, and to actually angle it the right way, and then know the distance that it needs to be away from the the actor's face, so it's not intrusive into the scene. You got to make sure that you're not dipping down like a 70s porn into the frame and pissing off camera.
Yeah.
So you need and you have to understand shadows also.
Do you know how I know this is a 70s porn? Because the dude's dick's got sideburns. Do you remember Bulletproof?
Yeah, that's right.
All right, that was a good one with Wayans, Damon Wayans back then, Adam Sandler. And speaking of the Wayans,
and I worked as a director's assistant, one of my other many jobs. I worked as a director's assistant on the movie. Excuse me. I worked as a director's assistant on the movie Naked. With Marlon Wayans, who starred in for Netflix. That was shot here in Charleston also.
Shot here in Charleston. Now, speaking of that, I told a friend of mine we were talking just recently, and I said, man, there's a lot of movies shot in Charleston people never even realize.
That's right. And the thing that I just got an email from the Carolina Film Alliance was at the previous meeting that just took place, it told us that I think there were 23 films turned down filming here in Charleston, and they left so many millions and millions of dollars out there that went to other states because those movies and TV shows are going to get made, and they look at Charleston. Charleston is one of the top travel destinations in the world. And when you continuously are put out there on the national stage, people are going to take recognition, and TV and film has that. And because like production companies like Rough House, who've moved their production here to Charleston, these guys have produced Eastbound and Down with HBO, Vice Principals here. Also, the Righteous Gemstones, which I had an opportunity to work on the first episode of. And so, besides them, there's been so many that have been made here, and the awareness of the beauty of Charleston and the ease of getting permits, it's out there now. The world knows about Charleston. Right. We have great cuisine.
It's a sought after place.
It's a sought after
movies
place,
and TV
but
shows.
because of the legislator and the way that the film industry works when it comes to taxes and rebates, you're spending so many dollars to make a film, right? You want to be able to recoup some of that, and the way that a lot of these states now, like Georgia, is the mecca for film, and they offer great incentives to any production that's shot there. Well, how many TV shows and films you've seen at the end with the Georgia Peach? Made in Georgia. You get a little extra there also. Right. A little extra percentage for placing that there. That's a big deal. And what South Carolina has to do and understand is, which they are, the Governor McMaster and some of the legislators just recently said that they now see the value in the film community being here, because they don't realize how many millions of dollars are spent with the local businesses. There's so many. Excuse me. A lot of those purchases are made by the office. And so I saw all the the purchase orders that were made from all these different companies, because each one of these different departments, from lumber that the construction needs, ice, food. There's, we have craft services who was providing food all day for the crew, and the extras and the actors, and then you have catering also. And where do you think they're getting all that food from? They're feeding hundreds of people per day. And that means they're continuously putting money into your local economy.
How is that a bad thing? So it's another opportunity for
how is that a bad thing? And you get the name recognition even more so that drives the tourism to South Carolina, because so-and-so movie was made here, so-and-so TV show was made here. Right. People who like the TV shows, who like the movies, they always go and visit those places when they come to the cities.
And it also
called tourism.
Yeah, exactly. I remember because many years ago when I lived in Beaufort, I wound up living there twice, being stationed there when I was in the Marine Corps. But when I was a young troop living there, and we took the horse and buggy tour back in the day.
Thank you for your service also.
I appreciate that. It was my pleasure. It was one of the big things when we took the horse and buggy tour that we loved hearing about was Forrest Gump.
Yeah.
Filmed in Beaufort, and them talking about how, like, I didn't know until then that the scene when he's running across the bridge, crossing into Mississippi, he was in Beaufort. They just put a sign up there.
That's it.
Right there. And all those different things. And then you hear stories of Barbara Streisand renting a house there for, was it Prince of Tides, I think, that movie. And what was the one where Robert Duvall was filmed down there? The Great Santini.
Oh, I didn't even know about that one.
Was filmed down there in Beaufort. You hear all these things and you think of all these actors been down there. Tom Hanks actually interrupted a wedding as they were coming out of the church.
That's nice.
He was driving by and saw it, stopped the car, got out. You hear all these stories. I'm sure there are tons of stories like that here in Charleston. So like I said, it adds to the tourist value to the local area.
Did you watch, there's a Netflix documentary right now about Bill Murray and what he's done.
I haven't seen that one.
You need to watch this. I can't remember the name of it, but it's great. And of course, it has a lot of Charleston in it and people that I know. And it's Bill Murray, who was like acting legend, and just has
he's huge. The River Dogs. He's doing so much down
here
there
in Charleston. He's a legend. Come on, this is Bill Murray.
Yeah,
so you're always having a Bill Murray sighting.
Right. We got Bill Murray, and then Danny McBride just moved down here to Sullivan Island.
That's right.
And he's huge too. And so you had a chance to work with him on Righteous
Gemstones and on Vice Principals. Yeah,
that's right. Vice Principal. Yeah, because that was from an old. Was it an old school or was it a?
It was
not an old school, but it was a school.
Yeah, it was a school. Yeah, I spent about a good month or so working with him closer on the Righteous Gemstones for the pilot episode, new HBO series. That's hilarious as hell, by the way. You just got to watch that shit.
That's your plug, huh?
That is a plug.
Righteous Gemstones.
Look, I know a lot of great people work on the show.
Yeah.
They put a lot of great work into the show. Yeah. It's funny as shit.
Yeah.
You know?
I watched the first episode.
Well, I worked on that episode. I stepped away from that side of the business because I wanted to actually focus on what I want to do with my own
work. That's why I didn't go to episode 2. I was like, you know what? My homie's not working anymore. I'm done.
Well, I appreciate that, but now I give you the blessing to go ahead and watch.
Now I got the
You need to go ahead and watch.
Just watch. All right.
Yeah.
I'll do it.
But having those people here is starting to actually open up Charleston and open up the powers that be's minds about the film industry and having it here, because those guys are hilarious and they're good representatives for what they're doing, and they're bringing a lot of money and attention, positive attention,
which is that's the big thing.
That's right. They're employing people and they're spending money. What's wrong with that?
Yeah. And I get because of a page that I follow through Facebook or whatever, which is local. There's casting call stuff.
That's right.
I see a lot of posts for extras.
That's right.
It's
hundreds of extras.
Yeah, and sometimes they want an extra to stand in a group just to be whatever, and sometimes we're looking for a female age 25 to such and such to be this specific character. Yeah. But it really wouldn't. It's nothing so intense that it takes, the Gilliard School of Acting for you to get this role. I mean, send us headshots and we want somebody.
I was an extra one time.
Yeah.
One time while I was going to school, I got convinced by the same guy who taught me how to boom to be an extra, and they were shooting a pilot for a TV show for CBS called Identity that didn't get picked up.
Okay.
And I got to play a bike messenger in New York City.
Okay.
And so they took the side street that led from the U.S. Custom Building downtown on East Bay, and turned that side street leading to the market and just the front of that end of the south end of the market into a Brooklyn street.
Okay.
So lots of yellow cabs. We wet down they wet down the street. They had yellow cabs and signage everywhere.
Yeah.
And then me and another guy, friend to friend, had to ride our bikes up and down the street 16 times for one take. That was just for one take for hours. And I was like,
didn't realize it was going to be a workout,
I'll never do this again. This is not worth the damn. So we made $80. So we got $60 for being extras and a $20 bump each for providing our own bikes.
Really?
That's right. That's the life of an extra. Sometimes you're going to be placed in situations that are safe, but they suck.
Yeah.
They will suck sometimes, but you get to see, a lot of people just enjoy it because they get to see how the show is actually made. They get to witness it. There's a great scene taking place right in front of you, and you can't look at it, but they're getting the experience. They're there. They hear and they feel. Yeah, it's cool.
That's a good deal.
Yeah.
It's a lot. I didn't realize that was shot down here, and it's funny how they take some spot of downtown Charleston that we see every weekend basically and turn it into New York City.
That's one aspect that I really respect because I worked on another plug, Mr. Mercedes, for the Audience Network, which is a Stephen King show.
Yeah.
And I did get to meet Stephen King. He's awesome.
Okay.
But to watch how construction and the art department can change a warehouse into a hospital one week, and then you come back and it's a library or a bookstore. It's amazing because it's like I walked in and I'm like, I really feel like I'm in a hospital. All the signs work, everything. I go up to a hand sanitizer pump, and it actually gives me some. Right. Yeah. So it's like,
and that's where all that money goes, like you said.
Yeah, and people don't think about that stuff. Yeah. All of that you see in the scene. Someone had to design that, and someone had to decorate that.
So have you watched, speaking of Netflix documentaries, have you watched the movies that made us?
Yeah, I definitely have.
Okay.
I watched some of them. I haven't watched them all yet. I watched Home Alone and
so that's the one
Ghostbusters.
Yeah. So that's the one I was going to reference because it. If you haven't seen it, sorry, spoilers on that, but like in Home Alone, they're sitting there trying to think, where can they do this? So they didn't use that house for everything.
That's right.
Wasn't aware of that, just watching the movie.
Most TVs, they don't.
Yeah. And so they built that house, basically the inside of that house,
exactly,
in a school gymnasium.
Yep.
And then they got to figure out the other house across the street that they flooded. Remember the wet bandits?
And where did they place it?
In an old pool.
That's right.
In an old swimming pool in the same school. Yeah, I never thought it was an old swimming pool.
That's taking. Yeah. Like, man, I was impressed by that one.
Right, because they're like, the water's got to go somewhere. You can't build a watertight set.
Than a pool?
Yeah, so it drains into a pool. So it's a lot of thought goes into this that people don't realize, like you said.
And that's what we call let's do it again. And that's what we call pre-production. Pre-production. Everything. So when you have a script, and that script has been greenlit to be made, and there's money to make that into an actual piece of something that people can consume, you're going to have a shit ton of meetings, and you're going to do a breakdown of that script. And when you do the breakdown, you're going to categorize all the needs that you need to get this done. And if you miss any of that stuff, you're going to have trouble once day one cameras roll. That's where the issues come from.
Right.
So you want to make sure that all the prep is taken care of before that camera red light goes on.
Okay. So there's a lot of thought and process.
It's a lot of thought. It's so much.
So many people working behind the scenes. Now, with all that, okay, so one thing I do know, like I said, that military background, when you have a lot of people involved in something, you have a lot of ideas, you want to have people butting heads. How often is that going on?
That's all the time.
In the movie industry?
All the time. That's a normal occurrence.
Yeah.
Oh, he is a genius. Okay. Oh, I'm still hooked, right?
Yeah, you're still hooked. We're good. All right. So you've seen where the director caused headaches, did his thing,
but went and get between a first AD and a director and keep them from physically whipping the shit out of each other. Like straight up, hardcore yelling, finger pointing, foam at the mouth.
Yeah. Little chest poking.
Yeah, yeah. Like literally, I'm gonna beat your ass.
You lucky he's holding me back.
Well, most definitely.
They were those cats. They were like that.
Yeah,
oh, you lucky he's holding me back.
Yeah,
that kind of thing.
Yeah, we had
back and forth. But the director went on and got a better gig.
Yeah. Well, that was that time when I had to actually physically intervene. That was a different director.
Okay.
That guy was an older gentleman, and I use the term very loosely.
Okay.
And the other guy was like, I think his second film.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was a second film. He still hadn't a clue of what departments do.
Okay.
Of what department heads are for. And so he was very disrespectful.
Yeah.
And he didn't get the most out of the people because of his approach.
Of course.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so it's interesting, and I'm sure we could go for an hour or more.
I don't know about all that. Okay.
Well, I know we could with the amount of stuff that you've seen and the amount of knowledge you have of working on sets and stuff. But okay, I want to get to the fun stuff. Let's say the fun stuff. All right, so you worked with Marlon Wayans. Did you have a part in Halloween that was shot here?
I definitely worked on Halloween.
Okay, I thought you did.
I worked on Halloween.
You should have thrown that out right away. So you've had an opportunity to work with people.
There's just so many things. You know, it's just like I think 6-7 years. It just all blurs into one because you just do as many as you can, one after another, in order to sustain yourself. You know?
So tell us some fun stories about meeting some of these A-list stars.
I've met some people.
Yeah.
I would just say some are nicer than others, of course. I want to throw out.
You don't want to say too much because you might have to work with them again because you're in that industry. But I mean,
let me do this.
Okay.
Let me talk about people that I respect.
Okay.
All right. So, John Travolta.
Yeah.
Highly respected. Now, see, I'm a big Quentin Tarantino, Pulp Fiction fan.
Oh,
It's one of the things that got me into film and wanting to know how did he do that.
Okay.
And so, meeting John Travolta and Michael Madsen. Michael Madsen, of course, is the Vinny Vega character in Reservoir Dogs.
Yes.
And their characters are supposed to be brothers. And in reality, those two guys, Travolta and Madsen, were like actual friends.
Okay.
And so to actually work on a film with both of them and to see Travolta, who's had such a long career, the guy's been
with various types of roles, like there's so much.
A teenager, and Carrie, Welcome Back, Kotter, Pulp Fiction, whatever you want, Saturday Night Fever. There's so many great films that are part of the American lexicon, and he was just so down to earth and cool. And so,
but it was actually Pulp Fiction that kind of put him back on the.
He had fallen off.
And Pulp Fiction brought him back.
He fell off, and it made him hot again.
Yeah,
and he's never cooled off. Really, from he still gets really good character roles and still does some leading man work and has a really good functioning production company.
Yeah.
So he keeps himself out there, but he's a really, truly nice guy.
Travolta, you respect?
It's like one day on set, you see this guy, and we're filming at this local bar in Alabama, and they announce on the news the day before that we're going to be filming there, which you don't usually want to do because you don't want so many people knowing where you're going to be, and they converge, and it can become a security issue.
Right.
But they knew, and so 300 something people show up to try to get a glimpse of John Travolta, and the guy didn't disappoint. Usually, you have a nice trailer somewhere off for the actor to relax in between setups, and now he never would use it. He would go right to the people.
Really?
And sign autographs, hug, take pictures. There's old ladies out there grabbing his ass, and we're like, no, don't grab John's ass. And they're like, he's like, calm down.
He's over here like,
he's like, old ladies been grabbing my ass for 40 years. He's like, grab away, lady. He's like, that's how he was.
That's funny.
He was really cool. And most hardworking guy I've ever been around with was Marlon Wayans.
Yeah.
He taught me something about true hard work in this industry because his schedule was so grueling. He had usually a 12-hour shoot that he's in literally every scene, and he had a dance rehearsal after and a fight rehearsal after for fight choreography, and he would get up really early in the morning and do 10 rounds of Muay Thai kickboxing.
Okay.
He gets up at 3:30 in the morning and would work out.
So Marlon Wayans got skills?
Marlon Wayans got skills.
He got some hands?
The guy he's tall, first of all.
Taller than you think, right?
Oh, yeah. He's much taller than what you think. Yeah. He's at least 6'2", 6'3".
Okay.
And he's in phenomenal shape.
Okay.
Like he's shredded. And he's a trained kickboxer.
Okay.
They don't know that about him. I don't know if I should put that out there because he'll whip your ass.
Yeah.
But he would whip your ass. But he was very regimented with what he wanted. He always was, very calculating and thought,
time management.
How funny his family has always been, and seeing him on TV, to see all the work that went into creating what you see.
Well, it's funny. I think Jim Carrey's made mention of how hardworking the Wayans family is. There's been people talk about the Wayans family are just
He was always on the phone. He'll be coaching a family member who had a audition coming up, and he's like telling them pointers for acting and getting into the character and finding that emotional need.
Right. And then he's hanging up the phone and playing one of his 6 roles.
Goes right into what he needs to do. Right. And he's such a physical actor. Yeah. And there's he's like a living Muppet in some of the scenes and naked. And that's how he is. Yeah. He's like very animated.
And you're talking about him being working so hard, he's almost in every scene. If for those of you who don't know or haven't seen Naked, it's
on Netflix now. Go check it out.
Been there for a minute. Very funny, and and he's like 6 different characters.
No. That's a new one. That's Sextuplets.
Sextuplets.
That's Sextuplets.
That's right. Yeah, that's Sextuplets.
Naked
okay, I got
is
it wrong
where it's the premise is he's reliving his day over and over and over.
Oh yes.
Waking up naked inside of a elevator on his wedding day, and it's 1 hour from his wedding day, and he has to continuously relive that day until he actually gets to that chapel.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, but it goes to show how hard he's working with doing a movie like Sextuplets.
That's right.
Where he's playing all like every character.
All Netflix specials, he earned it. He did. He went on, and after he left us, seeing that how businesses lined up, and it's like, oh yeah, this guy's going from here to NBC for a show.
Is he the funniest person you've worked with, or is there somebody like that you wouldn't think is like that person's actually really funny?
Oh man, well I would probably say Brendan Gleeson was really funny. I don't know if you're familiar with the show, but it's Mr. Mercedes.
Mr. Mercedes, yep.
He also played Mad Eye Moody in the Harry Potter films. And he's a big guy, burly Irishman.
Gangs of New York?
Yeah, Gangs of New York.
Yeah,
he is
beating
hilarious.
people with the staff.
That's right. He has a really great sense of humor.
Okay, I wouldn't see that.
Yeah.
It's funny you mentioned him.
But besides Marlon was just funny all the time, even when he wasn't even trying to be funny. He was really good at entertaining the extras in between takes. John Goodman, hilarious. I worked with him, of course, on Righteous Gemstones. John Goodman had everyone laughing consistently. It's like the Roseanne dad.
Yeah,
he's funny as shit.
Yeah,
he is. And he's a really good boxer.
Really. That's a big dude.
He has a good height on him, good chin, nice right cross.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Did you catch it?
Oh, almost.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You had some head movement.
I'm not stiff.
Okay.
Get a little duck in there at least. I can't let Roseanne Dad whoop my ass.
Yeah, I know, right?
Come on,
how are you going to explain that to your friends?
Go and tell my friend. Oh yeah. Roseanne's dad, Roseanne's husband, Dan Connor whooped my ass.
Yeah.
That's right. Yeah.
All right, so a few little simple questions here. So you talk about that's the funniest person you talked to. I have a question though in regards to did you meet Jamie Lee Curtis on the Halloween set?
Of course.
Yeah, spent some time with her?
Yeah.
How is she in person?
Actually, I was the person who picked up Jamie Lee Curtis from the airport.
Really?
I really was. From the first time I met her and her beautiful little dog.
Yeah.
She was amazing.
Really?
She was everything that I thought that she would be. She was a true movie star, but a true professional.
Yeah.
And she was taller than I thought. Yeah. When we shook hands,
strong grip.
What was that the G.I. Joe Kung Fu grip?
Yeah.
That's what she has.
Yeah.
Yeah, straight vice grip. And last Christmas, I hate putting like personal business and finances out there, but me and my family we were going through a little rough patch there, and I got a surprise in the mail the day before Christmas, and it was a check from Jamie Lee Curtis.
No kidding.
From Halloween, yeah.
Really?
Yeah. And it was right on time. I was like, oh,
Jamie Lee Curtis.
Thank you, Jamie Lee.
Yeah.
Thank you.
With your fine self. Always beautiful. Man, yeah. Jamie Lee Curtis has always been beautiful.
Beautiful, in shape, very thoughtful.
And to hear that she's a wonderful person, that just goes a long way. That's great. Yeah.
Man, one of the nicest people I've ever been around. Also like Travolta. She has that aura about her.
Yeah.
And she knows that she is a star, but that doesn't matter. Everyone matters to her.
Yeah, that's great.
Yeah, and she's an awesome shot.
Yeah.
I don't know if you want to put that out there either, but yeah, I got to actually accompany them on a day for shooting, target practice for the movie.
Okay.
So
she can shoot, huh?
She knows how to handle
a lot of people don't realize this, but in training Marines and stuff, a lot of females, they can shoot their ass off because they have a steadier hand, they're more patient.
Yeah.
And they listen to instruction. Like men try to do, we're hard-headed, we try to do our things our own way.
Jamie will pop a cap in your ass.
Yeah, so she can do it from long distance.
She will bust it on you. Bust it. No problem.
That's funny. That's interesting to know.
I remember coming back to my desk right when we were wrapped, and there was a autographed picture of Jamie Lee Curtis on my desk.
Yeah.
And some other gifts. And I was
Yeah.
like, man, that is amazing. She would just come in and sit down and just have regular conversations with us.
Right.
Literally sit on the floor Indian style and play with her dog and talk to us. Yeah, she was just normal.
Just a down-to-earth person.
Very, very down.
That's awesome. I love to hear stories like that because you hear so much about you're quick to hear who the pricks are in the industry.
That's right.
I remember.
I want to do better in highlighting people who actually deserve.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah,
but people
speak the good. Speak the good.
People like hearing about train wreck style.
That's true. Drama sells, right? It's like sex sells, drama sells.
Yep.
That's why we have news channels.
That's right. 24-hour news
constantly talking about everything. Yeah,
just the bad.
Yeah. So we've already talked about who you look up to and everything else, who the funniest person, all these different things. So what is it you do when you're not working? Because you said you working 12, 16-hour days.
When I'm not working, I'm usually spending a lot of time with my wife. I spend a lot of time writing, planning. I'm always thinking about business.
Yeah.
Especially recently, I'm going into like a new little venture with some more professionals in the industry and trying to actually build a new production company.
Oh, sweet.
And and realize
I've seen a few posts about it.
How difficult that could be and how much money it costs.
Yeah, everything costs money. Isn't that the sad thing?
It's a lot of really like-minded individuals who are talented, and we all decided that it's time to actually join forces, like Voltron.
Yeah.
How old right there.
Yeah.
Voltron. But seriously. And just try to create a new brand here in Charleston for video production that handles different aspects, everything from your local commercials to film.
Okay. Yeah. So you're going to wind up having your hands in a little bit of everything.
That's right.
That's good. That's good. So I had a friend of mine had a question for you in regards when I told him who I'm talking to today, whatever, and he was curious, is it cutthroat? And how do you get around that if it is without becoming that type of person?
Oh man, that's a really good question because it definitely is cutthroat. To be cliche, when they say dog eat dog, dog wouldn't stand a chance in the industry because it's a big industry and there's a lot of money involved and there's a lot of greed.
So you're talking dogs against dire wolves type.
Yes, a lot of ego, dire wolves. There you go. Right on the other side of that door, their producer's office is a dire wolf.
Okay,
that's right. And so it is hard. It is hard to stay moral in some occasions. It's hard to not fall prey to being changed by the industry because there is a lot of glitz and glamour and a lot of things that go along with being in the film industry. Mm-hmm. Just being associated with it and people hear it, they automatically assume and they treat you differently also. And so
your moral character can be tested quite often.
Oh yeah, sometimes. Yeah, you can really take advantage of people if you really truly wanted to. And I've seen it firsthand.
Yeah, that's hard to hear, especially with all the stuff that's been going on in recent times with these douchebags.
Oh yeah.
That started the Me Too movement.
Oh yeah.
To hear those stories, there's nothing about me that doesn't believe.
I've definitely been in situations on shows where I've heard a star say something, or a producer or a director say something to a female on set, and know that you find yourself like, I wish I could speak up, but it's like that fear-based reality where if I said something, I know that it would cost me my job.
Yeah.
But you want to come to the rescue of someone because what was just said to them is just utterly disgusting and wrong.
Yeah, man, that's a very hard position to be in.
I truly, honestly have heard an actor say something so deplorable that you just want to punch him in the fucking face.
Yeah.
I was like, wow, did you really just say that to her?
Right. So I'm sure there's movies or shows that you're like, I'm not watching that because that douchebag's in it.
Yeah, that's right.
Because
I've met some real douchey guys. I'm not many women.
Yeah, who we see on TV on the red carpet, who are revered by the average fan. But
I know guys who have fans who, if you saw how they behaved, you would like, I don't want to support this guy.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, maybe at some point after your production company becomes one of the biggest
I don't even have to be the biggest. I just want to be.
No, we want it to be. We want it to be where it's like you.
Big as possible.
You guys.
Big as possible.
That you have working and what you got going on, and like Tyler Perry or like neck and neck for the.
If I could do that,
for the top, that's
I would love to.
You bought like 53 acres and built. You guys have built like what he's doing.
If I got to do Tyler Perry, I got to do 400 because he got 300.
Okay. So and then we'll have you back on, and then you can name names.
That's right.
Because you'll be that big.
They're gonna still want to work for me any damn way.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. Man, it's been great talking to you, and we got to do this again. Especially as you progress with this. You think about it. Wasn't as enjoyable for you as it was for me.
No, okay. It was good. It was good. I like to talk, so next time you may want to have like something more than water.
Yeah, but this is La Croix.
It's La Croix.
Yeah, man. This is the fancy water, man.
I'd rather have something with a proof for alcohol content. With a beer. Give me a beer.
Man, as soon as we push that button, we can do that up. Good having you on. We have added Rob Hopkins to the list.
Thank you. It's been my pleasure. Hopefully we'll do this shit again.
For sure.
All right.
For sure. All right. Thanks,
man.